Good morning, Panthers. I'm Isaac Dudley.
And I'm Ian Parr.
Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. And now we have some announcements for you.
LMCHS is looking for junior and senior students next year, or current sophomores and juniors, to be enrolled in the Service Learning course. Students will be working to better their community, fulfill their civic duty, and enhancing LMCHS students and the West Hills College environment. If you are interested, talk to Coach Mack and sign up on the sheet in his office door, in the lunchroom, or in the Life Skills classroom.
The Panther Post is looking forward to your first-person articles. We are looking for 300 to 600 words about things that matter to you. Ms. Pathla has sample articles in her classroom if you're interested, and please get them in by March 15th.
Another announcement from us: if you'd like to draw and you wish to publish it anonymously in the paper, we are currently looking for art submissions to start an anonymous art column, so feel free to submit your art to the email provided if you are interested.
Another announcement from us: if you have an awesome pet, Panther Post is looking for pictures of your pets. Submit them to the email provided by March 15th.
Sadie Hawkins will be on March 17th in the Conference Center from 7 to 10 p.m. with Dazed and Confused as the theme.
Yearbook is looking for new artistically focused students. If you're interested in applying, applications are due on the 10th. Keep in mind that Yearbook is an after-school class, has limited enrollment, looking for people specifically who manage their time well, work independently, are good writers, and work well in a small team. Stop by Miss Reese's classroom if you want to grab an application.
And now it's time for the pun of the week. Hey Ian, are you good at PowerPoint?
Oh, I excel at it.
Was that a Microsoft pun just now?
Word.
On another note, applications for this next year's journalism team are now open. You can apply to be part of our video production team, our newspaper team, or both. To show you what we do, here's an episode of The Day in the Life featuring the journalism class.
Okay, we're rolling, and action.
I wanted to start journalism mostly because of Panther stock last year. There was a noticeable lack of school spirit and participation, and I was hoping that the newspaper might be a way to fix that and get people more active and know what's going on around the school.
When AJ first proposed it, it was in the spring last year, and I'll admit my first thought was, and he wants to do this for next year? How much time do we have to plan this? Is this actually really something that's feasible and can be done? But I pretty much said, well, if you can get Mr. Jet on board, then I'm willing to do it. And wholeheartedly expected it to just kind of peter away and disappear again. He came back next week, he had Mr. Jet on board, and he had a meeting set up, and I was like, okay, I guess we're moving with this. And that's actually been kind of the experience of the class overall. Is there have been a lot of times where the class has suggested something and I've thought, that's a lot to get done in that time frame or with this number of people or with the resources that we have. And then the students have really come in and put in the hours that they needed to do it, to make their dreams actually happen and turn into real things on the campus. It's been really amazing to watch and to be part of.
Hey, what's up guys? This is my new vlogging setup.
I wanted to join journalism because I felt there was a real lack of school spirit, and this class as a newspaper can really bring together people and make sure that we have the school spirit that we so desperately need.
Well, I had just broken up with my previous journalism class at my middle school, and when I found out that we were starting one here, I was completely excited to try and apply and see if I got in. And AJ had talked to me about joining as the head photographer before the Panthera Pardus came into mind.
So I decided to join journalism originally because before the class was ever a thing, last year, my sophomore year, before the Post was a thing, before the Panthera Pardus was a thing, AJ said there was a chance there would be video journalism, the video announcements, things like that. And honestly, I really wanted to jump on the opportunity for something like that because I've always felt at home whenever I'm on a stage or anything like that, or whenever I'm like in front of a camera performing for anyone, or even something as simple as video announcements. I've always loved doing stuff like that. If any of these are problems for you, please do not apply.
Dance Club has announced this year's
First serve cash only basis for $75.
applications are due this week. Can we do that?
in charge of this. You gotta get
the front. I think the most difficult part of trying to get the newspaper out is deadlines and making sure everyone's on the same page, and just making sure that everyone's in sync, because it is really difficult to get everyone to kind of be on the same page and get all the articles in on time and make sure that formatting is done when they're supposed to be done and that they start when they're supposed to start.
Learning to take criticism from others and putting out your best work is definitely something that you have to have like strong relationships with people to do. I think, well, as this part of the class has developed, I think we've all gone to a lot closer. Wow, I can't talk. A lot closer. Isaac, we're cutting that part out. Do not use my section for that.
I might.
Obstacles in this class probably are including deadlines, making sure that your articles are going to be enjoyed by people, and also just making sure that the games are good and fun and it's something that people are going to enjoy.
This class challenges me by pushing me more than any of my other classes because it constantly demands hours and hours of work from me outside of class.
Mainly it's just putting in the time. I edit all of the videos we put out, so really just putting aside that time on the weekends to edit. It's a few hours, maybe 4 to 8 hours depending on what I'm doing on a weekend. It's sometimes hard to do that, but it's always worth it in the end. Just seeing an episode with the games and the announcements or the day in the life segments or pretty much anything with my friends is really, really cool.
This class is challenging because of the deadlines. Normally I'm okay with them just doing the work right before it's due, but with this class you have to put a lot of time and effort into what you write and how it's gonna look.
Right now I am editing an article, so I'm going to copy the text and I'm going to paste it where it goes.
Basically says
And hopefully it'll look nice when I'm done.
The one before they did the spooky.
which one is closer to the school colors?
And there's like photos that are added to it too. You should see it in the back. Can you see it?
I'm sorry, what was that?
In terms of what the students have created, it's been amazing to see. So from our 16 to 18 page newspapers with articles on lots of different topics, from our formatting, our headers, our graphic design work, and then definitely over into the weekly video announcement process, which takes so much work behind the scenes, and I'm just amazed by the amount of time and effort and dedication that the students bring to the class.
And action.
Hi, I'm Autumn. And I'm Mackenzie.
Today's featured game is
Mad Libs.
So obviously a lot of times we go out and get footage. Some of it isn't always going to turn out as well as we'd hope to. Those particular shots we got were unusable. I already know it's going to be unusable. Isaac, you know it's going to be unusable.
Yeah.
We're having to redo everything that we took. And this happens a lot when we just do things spontaneously, but live and learn, am I right?
This is such a waste of my time. I have learned a lot about video editing. You know, when we first started on our first episode, I was using iMovie and I put it together in like 20 minutes and I was like, wow, this is going to be really easy. I don't mind being the editor, and looking back on that decision, that's probably one of the worst decisions I've ever made. I kid. You know, the editing has evolved a lot, and I've learned so much through it. And, you know, it's even gotten to the point where if someone was like, "Hey Isaac, you want to be my permanent editor for something, and I'll pay you for it," I'd take it up as a career choice.
I learned how to use Word, and during this class I was horrible at it beforehand, so now I can format stuff and it looks super nice. It makes me happy.
Through this class I've learned how to format things. I've learned a lot about Word. I've learned how to write articles that people are going to enjoy, and I've kind of learned how to be more creative, whether that's with writing or coming up with the games and just being in front of people more.
Learning how to work with people and communicating better. As director, I think that's definitely been something that I've had to work on. Really just working better with people and definitely communicating.
It's strengthened because I don't really communicate very well with people, so like I actually have to go out and reach out to people and get information and speak to them, so it really helps with communication.
Hey, Bryce! Can we,
What's your honest opinion on video journalism?
We should probably go
and
inside.
journalism as a class?
You don't want my honest opinion.
Yes, we do! We want it! Okay, who wants to bet me $10 that Cody and Autumn?
Being in front of the camera and having our own segment is something that I never thought that I would do, but it's actually been surprisingly easy, especially with Autumn. I've known her for like a long time, and it's just really fun. I really enjoy it, so I'm really glad that I became a part of this class.
If you want to apply to journalism and if you want to be a part of something great, you should really join, especially if you have skills like video editing or just writing in general, because this newspaper is great. I love being in it, I love working with it, and if you're great at that kind of stuff, you should apply, you should join.
What I would say to anyone who wants to apply next year is definitely try it out with an open mind, because there's more that goes into it than just writing, just being an anchor. Pretty much any skills that you have could be utilized here when it comes to formatting or video editing or just anything that you wouldn't really expect, because a lot goes into something like video journalism or the Panther Post.
If something that interests you is being a part of the newspaper, if you like to read and write, and if you like working with like the media, like cameras and video editing, then this class is definitely for you. It does require a lot of work, but I think in the end it's worth it, and I'm really glad that I joined. So
I think we produce for the school. It's something that the whole school sees, but I also think at the end of the day, it's also for ourselves. We work so hard for it, and to see us get better, I think that's probably the most satisfying part about it. And so if you're willing to sacrifice your own time and you want to challenge yourself this way, then it's definitely the class for you.
Apply. Please apply, but also let us know what we should be looking for from you. So let us know what it is that you feel you bring to the team, because when we're looking at the applications, we're looking at wanting to create the most balanced team that's going to work together and that's going to bring a lot of different expertises together to create a really stellar finished product. So if you have some expertise that you've gained outside of school or in junior high or in a college class that you feel like would be applicable to the class, don't be afraid to tell us. Certainly there's the skills that we're looking for, but we're also looking to capitalize and to use the skills of everybody else on campus that has something to share.
This class is awesome.
The people we have in here are very lighthearted, and it's fun to be around them.
This class gives me a heart attack every week, but I love it, and I love everybody in it, and I'm so glad that I'm a part of it, and that yeah, I love you guys.
Aww. And by this class you mean me, right?
Shut up, Isaac.
You guys are amazing. Thank you.